Hi guys, we're still talking about decimals. We're going to be talking about comparing decimals now. So, comparing numbers, Coach Tucker is timing how fast the boys on his track team run 400 meters. Andy ran the distance in 82 and 55 hundredths of a second. Joe ran the distance of 82 and 96 hundredths of seconds. Which boy ran faster? So that's a good. I know we're wondering why in the world are we studying decimals? Decimals are everywhere. One super duper important place decimals are in money that we saw earlier. And now we're talking about time. So we're going to compare these two numbers. Andy ran 82 and 55 hundredths of a second, and Joe ran 82 and 96 hundredths of seconds. So which boy had the faster time? What do you guys think? Andy ran faster because his time was the lesser of the two. Andy had 55 hundredths of a second and Joe had 96 hundredths of a second. Let's compare these two numbers using greater than, less than, or the equal to symbol. We've got 325 and 31 hundredths compared to 325 and 13 hundredths. So it's 325 and 31 hundredths greater than, less than, or equal to 325 and 13 hundredths. Well, let's look at the numbers individually. We've got the 300 and the 300. We've got the 2 and 2 for the 20s in the 10 spot. We've got two fives in the ones place. We've got the decimal point. I see a difference there. We've got a 3 on the 10th place at the top and a 1 on the 10th place at the bottom. 3 is greater than 1, so the top number is greater than the bottom number. This means 325 and 31 hundredths is greater than 325 and 13 hundredths. So when we're looking at the place value, we're going to compare the largest number first, and then we're going to keep going down to the smallest number. Since these were the same, we went to the tens place. The tens place were the same, we went to the ones place. The ones place was the same, so we went to the tens place. Because this is greater than this number is larger. Compare these two numbers using the greater than, less than, or equal to symbol. We've got 3,028 and 71 hundredths compared to 302 and 871. Oops, I forgot to take this one out. I try to cover it up here. Well, we're going to pretend that this thousandth isn't there. We've got 3,000. Oh, very important. You must line up those numbers so that you're comparing the same place value columns. Because if we were to line these up incorrectly, we would have put the two threes together, the two zeros together, the two twos together, and it would have been super duper wrong. So it's important, especially we always want to line up these decimals in fourth grade. So we've got the places in the right place. Now we've got 3,000 compared to nothing. So can we tell which one is larger? Definitely. The 3 is greater than nothing or 0, so the top number is greater than the bottom number, which means 3,028 and 71 hundredths is greater than 302 and 871 thousandths. Even if I would have taken this one off and have 87 hundredths, it still would have been greater because this has 1,000 and this one doesn't have any thousands. Here we go. We're going to compare these two numbers using greater than, less than, or equal to. We've got 12 and 22 hundredths compared to 12 and 4 tenths. This is pretty interesting. We've got 22 hundredths or 4 tenths. Which one do you think is larger? Let's compare. I have a 1 in the tens place on both of them. I have a 2 in the tens place. I'm sorry, the ones place on both of them because I've lined up my decimals. But I have 2/10 on this first number, and I have 4/10 in this last number. So what do we know? 4 is greater than 2, so the bottom number is greater than the top number. So 12 and 22 hundredths is less than 12 and 4/10. Doesn't that sound crazy? I know you guys are thinking 22 is greater than 4, but remember, we're taking place by place. We looked at the tens place first, then we looked at the ones place, then we looked at the tenths place. Super duper important. All right, let's compare these two numbers using the greater than, less than, or equal to symbol. The first one is 554 and 2 hundredths compared to 564 and 1/10. Did I say 2 hundredths? I meant 2/10. When I line up the numbers, I see that the tens column is different because we've got the 2 5s in the hundreds place, but then in the tens column, I see a 5 and a 6. I know that 6 is greater than 5, so 554 and 2/10 is less than 564 and 1/10. Oops, let's go back one. Okay, so now this next number, we've got 46,385 and 34 hundredths compared to 46,385 and 29 hundredths. When I line up the numbers, I see that the tenths column, there's that TH, the tenths column is different. We've got the 4s in the 10,000s place, the 6 both in the thousands place, the 3 in the hundreds place, the 8 in the tens place, the 5 in the ones place. Then we've got the tenths place. We've got a 3 in this tenths place and a 2 in this tenths place. So can we tell which number is greater? For sure. I know that 3 is greater than 2. So this is going to tell me that 46,385 and 34 hundredths is greater than 46,385 and 29 hundredths. Our last one, you guys try this one on your own. All right, so I've lined up the tens place. They're both 7. I've lined up the ones place. They're both 7. Then I looked at the tenths place. They're both 0. And then I looked at the hundredths place. I see a 4 and I see a 2. I know that 4 is greater than 2. So 77 and 4 hundredths is greater than 77 and 2 hundredths. I hope this made a lot of sense to you guys. We're going to keep practicing some more so that it gets easier. I hope that you guys have fun.